class is probably one of my most favorite classes because this class isn't, the whole intention of the class is really not to try to teach you about anything specifically regarding, required minimum distributions or Social Security or anything like that. It's really to talk about the general topic of investing. I've been a financial advisor for over 20 years now, and when I meet with clients every single day, the number one fear is no longer that of dying. What do you think it is?
Being homeless.
Being homeless? Okay, that might be in the top 10. Okay, anything else?
Running out of money. Right.
Running out of money. Okay. And why is that a concern to a retiree?
They have health issues that their money goes towards that type of
Mm-hmm.
bills.
Okay, all right. So, does your standard of living stay the same if you run out of money?
No.
No.
Lose your independence.
Lose your independence, that's correct, yeah. Raise your hand if you want to move in with the children. Okay, all right. No takers on that one, okay. The reason I've seen so many different individuals over my years that have either run out of money or they've had to live on a substantial cut in income is because they all made one simple mistake. One. They went from the accumulation phase of their life, which is when they're doing what? What are they doing when they're here? They're working. To the distribution phase of their life, what are they doing here? They're not working. And the problem is that they went from the accumulation phase of their life to the distribution phase of their life, but they never made the strategic change within their own investment strategies to follow suit. We're going to be talking about the market, what the market has done historically. We're going to be talking about the why. Why do we always end up, hearing the things that we hear, seeing the things that we see, experiencing what we experience? Because if all of you are experiencing this general sense of disease where you want to try to figure this out and make certain that you've made the right decisions and all of that, is it not true that we also probably experience a lot of the same investment pressures and the same advice from our friends and from society and from television and news and all of those things? All the marketing that goes to you when you turn on Google News or CNBC, it's the same information that you probably end up hearing. And you, Caesar, you get to see it, right? So many of us are kind of on the same level as far as human nature and trying to find our path and trying to make certain that we're successful. We're going to be talking about, first and foremost, some of the harsher realities of investing. And for this first section, we are going to be talking specifically about the market. And this is not to demonize the market. The market is a very wonderful place to make money. It's a very good place to make money. But we must understand that it's not perfect. And the market is affected by humans. It's it is affected by human nature and by politics and by laws and regulations and everything else. And so if we believe that history tends to repeat itself, we need to go back and kind of consider some of the harsher realities. The first is this. We're just going to be discussing math. If you ended up taking and losing 20% in anything, I wouldn't care if it was in real estate, if it was in a brokerage account, it was in a stock or a mutual fund, how much do you have to make next year to break even? It's right there on the board. 25%. Okay? What happens if you lose 30? How much is it now? 43. Do you see what's happening here? There's a trend that's occurring. If you lose 40%, now you have to make how much? 67%. And if you end up losing 50%, how much do you have to make now just to break even again? 100%. I had a very wise investor client of mine, and he looked at me one time and he said, the thing about investing in the market is it's an awful lot like an escalator and an elevator. And I said, what do you mean? And he says, When you're growing and the market's going up, it seems like it's more like an escalator, right? It's very slow, sometimes agonizingly slow. But when you have volatility and the market drops, it's more like an elevator, right? It just feels like it's going straight down.